Good day, everyone. Today we will be solving another question related to phase equation of soil. And as you can see, this is a typical PE or FE questions related to phase equation. So the question read thus. A sample of gray city clay has a mass of 126 kg. So based on the question, we have to write out the parameters given. The mass of soil, that is the total mass of the soil, which is the combination of the mass of solid plus mass of water, is 126 grams. So parameters given. So the parameters given, we have mass of, we have the total mass, is given to be 126 kg. We have the moist density, that is the total density, combination of mass of soil grains and the mass of water, which is a 2.05 grams per cm cube. We have the specific gravity, GS, is 2.71. The water content is 15.7%. So the question says that first determine all the entries in the phase diagram. So what are the entries in the phase diagram? So if you draw your phase diagram, we have three elements. We have solid, we have water, and we have air. So on the volume component, we have the volume of solid, volume of water, volume of air. So the combination of these two is the volume of void, and while the total is total volume. On the mass side, we have mass of solid, mass of water, mass of air. Mass of air is 0. So this is the total mass. So mass of air is 0. So these are the entries in the phase diagram. So we have to find this first before determining the porosity, the void ratio, porosity, degree of saturation, the dry density, and dry unit weight. So we'll be doing that first. So dry density, dry unit weight, and the moist unit weight. So the dry unit weight is just the unit weight when it's dry, when there's no water content, and while the moist is like the total unit weight. So we'll be solving that now. So that's the first thing you have to do. You have to identify the parameters that has been given in the question, and list them out, because when you list them out, you find it very easy. It becomes easier for you to determine the soil properties we are asked to compute. So now we'll be solving this question. So the first thing we'll be doing is to obtain the total we start from here. So the first thing we have to do, obtain the total density. Total density, I think I have to write the parameter. Total density equals total mass over total volume. So we, based on the question, we've been given the total mass of soil, and we've been given the total density. So total volume equals to total mass over total density. So we know that, so which is equals to 126 kilogram all over the total density. So you convert that to kilogram per cm cube. So we have 0.00205 kilogram per cm cube. So total volume equals to 6143 cm cube. So that's the total volume. That is the combination of the volume of solid and the volume of void. So total volume equals to, if you convert that to meter cube, to be 0.061 meter cube. So that gives us the total volume. So that is the total volume we have. That is the combination of the volume of soil and the volume of void. So next thing we have to do is to proceed with the evaluation. We have to find other parameters. So the next thing we have to find is to find the volume of solid. Volume of solid from our equation, which is mass of solid over specific gravity times unit weight. So we don't know the mass of solid, so we have to find that. So we know that mass of solid equals to total mass all over 1 plus water content. So we know our total mass. Our total mass is 126 kilogram all over 1 plus water content has been given 0.157. So mass of solid equals to 108.9 kilogram. So we know the mass of solid now. We can now proceed to find the volume of solid, which equals to 108.9 kilogram over, we know our specific gravity G, which has been given in the question, 2.71 times unit weight of water. So the unit weight of water is 1000 kilogram per meter cube. We have to be very careful with the units because the unit weight of water varies depending on the units. If it is pounds per feet cube, it's going to be 62.4 pounds per feet cube. But now it's kilogram per meter cube, so it's going to be 1000 kilogram per meter cube. So the volume of solids is going to be, based on the calculation, volume of solid is going to be 0.0402 meter cube. So that's the volume of solid. So we already know the total volume and we already know the volume of solids. So we know that total volume equals to volume of solid plus volume of void. So if you want to obtain, since we know the volume of solid and the total volume, to obtain the volume of void will be volume of void equals to total volume minus volume of solid. So volume of void equals to, total volume is 0.061 meter cube minus volume of solid 0.0402 meter cube. So 0.0161 minus 0.0402. So volume of void equals to 0.021 meter cube. So we know the volume of solid, the volume of the total volume, and we know, so to know the volume of water is easy. We can do that in two ways. So the first one is we can say volume of water equals to mass of water over density of water. Mass of water or density of water. So we don't know the mass of water yet. So we know that the water content is mass of water over mass of solid, right? So mass of water will be equals to water content times mass of solid. So what is our water content? It's given 1.157 times mass of solid is what? 108.9 kg. So that gives us, if we do the calculations very well, our mass of water is going to be 17.1 kg. That is the mass of water. Alternatively, we can obtain it using a different expression. So now I think that is for mass of water. So volume of water equals to mass of water 17.1 kg over density of water, which is 1000 kg per meter cube. So volume of water equals to 0.017 meter cube. So alternatively, we can compute our volume of water using what we have already. We can obtain it using different approach, but by knowing the volume of void and volume of air. So let's find volume of air first. So volume of air, how do you obtain the volume of air? So volume of air, this is what you're looking for, and we know that total volume equals to volume of solid plus volume of water minus volume of air. So volume of air equals to what? Plus volume of air. So total volume is volume of solid plus volume of water plus volume of air. So these ones are volume of void. So volume of air is going to be total volume minus volume of solid minus volume of water. Total volume is total volume, we have it here, is 0.061 minus volume of solid is what? We have it to be 0.0402 minus volume of water. Volume of water is 0.017. So volume of air equals to 0.061 minus 0.0402 minus 0.017. So volume of air is equals to based on my calculation, volume of air gives us 0.038 meter cube. That's the volume of air. So we've known all the volume properties: the volume of water, volume of solid, volume of air, and so let's complete the mass portion of it. We've already obtained mass of solid, and we've obtained mass of solid. If we've obtained mass of solid, this is mass of solid over here, and we've obtained mass of water over here. So I think that is everything regarding mass. I think we are done with all the parameters needed. So we have to go to our question. So the question says, find the void ratio. The question says, find the void ratio. So we're going to start from there. Finding the void ratio. That is the first thing to be done. And recall, void ratio, E equals to volume of void over volume of solid. So based on our previous calculation, we know that volume of void is this 0.021 over volume of solid. Volume of solid, this is volume of solid, 0.0402. So void, they're all in meter cube. So void ratio is 0.021 divided by 0.0402. So void ratio is 0.52. That is the void ratio. And we have to find the porosity. That's the first. Second is the porosity. Porosity is what? Porosity N is volume of void over total volume. We know the volume was 0.21 over our total volume is what? Our total volume is 0.061. 0.061. Yeah, meter cube. Porosity is equal to 0.021 divided by 0.061. Porosity is 0.34. That is the porosity, and mostly expressed in percentage, so 34.4%. So the next thing we are asked to find, next property. Alternatively, we can obtain this using our void ratio. Porosity is void ratio over 1 plus E. So void ratio is 0.52 over 1 plus 0.52. So porosity equals to 0.52 over 1.52. It should give us similar answer to this. If all things are equal, they should give same answer. So answer is 34.2, almost same. So that's another method you can use to obtain the porosity. So the third one, we have to compute the degree of saturation. Degree of saturation is just talking about if this is the void space, this is the void, and if this is water. So what is the percentage of space occupied by water in that void? So degree of saturation S is what fraction of volume of water occupies the volume of void? So which is the ratio is defined as volume of water over volume of void. So our volume of water, we already obtained it. Volume of water is 0.017 over volume of void. That was a volume of water. Volume of void is we have it here. This is our volume of water. This is our volume of void. Is our volume of void. 0.021 over 0.021. 0.017 over 0.021. So degree of saturation is equal to 80%. That is the degree of saturation. That's the degree of saturation S. Degree of saturation X. Alternatively, we can obtain the degree of saturation. Alternatively, we can use X equals to WGS over E. So water content is 0.157 times 2.71 all over void ratio, which is a what? 0.52. We should give same answer. 0.157 times 2.71 divided by 0.52. So X equals to 0.81, which is 81%. So they are similar. So that's another method we can use to obtain that. So the next one, number 4, is we asked to find the dry density. Dry density. So dry density equals to total density over 1 plus water content. That is an expression we can use. And our total density, we've been given the question. It's 250 kilogram per meter cube over 1 plus water content. Water content is 0.157. So if you do your math very well, the dry density, if you do your math very well, 2050 divided by 1 plus 0.157. So total dry density equals to 1771 kilogram per meter cube. So alternatively, we can obtain it using, total density equals to density of water times GS plus SE all over 1 plus E. So for dry density, S will be equals to 0. So dry density equals to density of water times GS. So this goes to 0 For dry density, this goes to 0. So it will be GS over 1 plus E, which is equals to density of water is 1000 kilogram per meter cube times 2.71 all over 1 plus 0.52. So density, dry density equals to 1000 times 2.71 divided by 1.52. So we have about 1782 kilogram per meter cube. So they are almost same. So that's an alternative way to obtain the dry density. That's an alternative way. So the next thing we will be finding based on the question is the dry unit weight. So dry unit weight. Dry unit weight, that's number 5. So dry unit weight. We know that density equals to mass over volume, and unit weight equals to weight over volume. So unit weight equals to mg over volume. So unit weight equals to density times g. So to obtain your dry unit weight, it's going to be dry density times acceleration due to gravity, which is 1771 grams per meter cube times 9.81 times 9.81 meter per second squared times 9.81 meter per second square. So whatever you get, so the answer, you do your math properly, 1771 times 9.81 takes us to 17383 Newton per meter cube, which equals to 17.38 kilonewton per meter cube. That's our dry unit weight. And the last question says we should obtain the moist unit weight. The moist unit weight. Moist unit weight. That is total unit weight, which is equals to total density times acceleration due to gravity. And total density is what? We have it to be 2050 kilogram per meter cube times 9.81 meter per second square. It's equals to 2050 times 9.81 give us 2110.5 Newton per meter cube divided by 1000 give us 20.11 kilonewton per meter cube. So that's how to obtain your moist or total unit weight. Alternatively, we can use this equation. So let's just stop there. Let's not complicate things. So that is the way to solve the equation. And these are questions that can be asked during FE or PE exam. Please, if you have any question, please let me know in the comment section. Then I see you.